welcome to my kitchen. As you can see, it's very clean, thanks to Alex. But anyway, in my last video, I mentioned that I'm going on a 4-week diet to lose a bit of the weight over Christmas, and also because I've not really been hitting the gym due to being ill and so on. See that last video for me to explain that. So, the purpose of this video is I'm going to show you everything that I bought that I'll be eating on my diet. Now, I have CROHN'S and I have an Ileostomy bag, so all of these foods are foods that I find that are really nutritious. I find that they don't affect my bag, I digest them really well, and I feel like they're voluminous. I can eat a lot of food for a little amount of calories. So it's very healthy, very balanced. I'm going to show you exactly what I got. Now, my fridge is very, very full. So I'm not going to just go through my fridge and point at things. I'm going to get everything out. I'm going to show you everything that I have bought and explain why and why it is good. Okay? So let's get to that now. Okay, so everything is laid out. Now, this is not everything I have in my cupboards and my freezers, because that would take up the entire side, every side of my kitchen. But this is what I usually eat on like a day-to-day, weekly basis, and things that I always buy in, especially when I'm dieting. Now, let's start with the proteins, because everyone knows, like, people think that that's the most difficult thing to get in. And when it comes to dieting, I believe that you should have a high amount of protein. So 1 gram per pound of body weight is a good measure to have if you're looking to lose weight or build muscle. So let's start with the meat. First of all, everyone knows you have chicken breast. This chicken breast, you're thinking, well, Joe, why is raw chicken breast in a Tupperware? And that is because the packaging that came with it was huge and it wouldn't even fit in my fridge, so I just took it out of the packaging and put it into Tupperware. Because it's Sunday, that means it's food prep Sunday, so I'm going to be prepping all of this in my slow cooker, but I'll do a different video for that. So chicken breast is the essential, like, cornerstone of my weekly food, because I have chicken breast more or less every single day for lunch. It might sound boring to you, but I do it with different spices every week. I make it, you know, there's 100,000 ways you can do chicken breast, I'm sure. Now, for breakfast, I didn't realise Aldi, this is where I got most of this, is from Aldi, which is like a, well, for my American friends, what would Aldi be? You just Google it, you'll find out. Now, bacon medallions. I love bacon, but obviously bacon is quite high in fat. Whereas this, for 2 medallions, is 3 grams. 3 grams of fat for 2 medallions, whereas a normal piece of bacon could be between 5 to 8 grams of fat per slice. So, really, really good. Means I can get my bacon fix without getting fat. Okay, another great sauce, turkey sausages. I love turkey, I have it through the year. Actually, I'll show you. This is some batched cooked. Like I say, I cook a lot on Sundays. This is some turkey mince that I cooked. It smells like garlic and onions, it's beautiful. So, anyway, I love turkey and I think you should use it all the way through the year, not just at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, turkey sausages, another great way to get like high protein and low fat in with getting your sausage fix, because 2 sausages can be up to 20 grams of fat, which at the moment would be half of my daily amount of fat. So I can't waste all of my fat on just 2 sausages. 2 of these sausages, however, 5 grams of fat. And how much protein? It hasn't broken it down. But it's, for 100 grams, it's 5 grams of fat and 18 grams of protein. So that's, yeah, 2 sausages. Also, go through the meat sauces. Diced beef. Now usually I would go for mince, so I can make burgers, I can make some chili, but I really wanted to make like a stew. I wanted to slow cook this beef and make it with a bit of a stew, and that's what I'm going to do. This is quite low in fat as well. Per 100 grams is 5 grams of fat, so that's like a 5% lean turkey mince. It's exactly the same fat ratio as that, but this was a lot cheaper for some reason, just because it's just diced beef. Now, I already have chicken, but sometimes you want a sandwich and you don't want to fry up or cut up a chicken breast. So it's good just to have something in the fridge that you can grab, put on some bread, put in a wrap and just eat. So this is a bit higher in fat, but it's cheap, and you can throw it into omelettes and into toasties, and it's just good to have in the fridge if you really want something very, very quick. Highly recommend having always some cold meats in your fridge. Now, I'll do eggs. Eggs is another staple of my diet. I always try and go for free range. I do try and go for, I wouldn't buy caged eggs. I did in university when I didn't know any better, but you know, as you can see, I'll get through these in under a week because I have the egg whites, or I'll have them whole. I have them every which way that you can. They do not upset my ileostomy bag. I find that as long as I mix eggs with carbohydrates and fats and other things, if I just don't have them on their own, I'm absolutely fine. If I have them on my own, you know, the bag can be a little bit upset with me. So I have to have my eggs. We're still on the protein sources. Cottage cheese. Now, it's great to have this type of protein before bed because casein protein digests a lot slower than your normal dairy, than your normal proteins that you find in chicken and so on. But I just like to have it. It's fat free. It's a really good source of protein. I mean, for every 100 grams, there's 4.7 grams of carbohydrates and 10 grams of protein. I really like this. You can get it with chives, you can get it with pineapple, which is just weird. But a good dairy sauce, you need to mix your sources of protein. You shouldn't have just one sauce like meat. You should try and get it from dairy and from other things. Also, fat-free Greek yogurt, versatile. You can put it in curries that are too hot for you, especially for us people with ileostomies, with Crohn's, can't have the spiciest of food. You can throw this in to make it a lot more mild. Also, you can put on your porridge, and this also has a high amount of protein in for what it is. You wouldn't think it because it doesn't say protein across the front of it, but it has high amounts of protein. Okay, so that's all of my protein sources, for now, other than the stuff I've already cooked. So let's move on to my carbohydrate sources. Okay, so I've got some Nutella. Now, some people might think that, you know, they hate Nutella because it's got palm oil, rapeseed oil. Anyway, so it's got palm oil in it, but I really like to mix it in with my porridge in the morning. It just adds that extra bit of, it makes it feel like I'm not just having boring old porridge. It's something I've only introduced recently, but it's really, really nice. Bananas, you can't go wrong with a banana. It's good, it digests well, it's good for the bag, it's good to eat. It feels like you're having a treat, but it's fruit, it's good for you. One banana is usually 30 grams of carbohydrates. Now, I have this bread. It's called the best of both. No, both in one from Aldi. It's about less than £1, and 2 slices of this is 30 grams of carbohydrates. Now, if you remember, if you wanted, you could have 1 banana or you could have 2 slices of bread. So, you know, a good carb choice if you're really scraping on carbs. Also, an essential is rice. I like basmati rice. If you've ever seen me make my rice, I make it completely normal, except that I add some spices to it. You'll have to go and watch some of my previous videos. I add some spices, changes the colour, makes it delicious. So rice is a staple. And beans. They're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fat. So I like having beans. I can't overdo it with them, but like I say, they digest really well. They've got high fibre, and I think fibre is something that's really, really important, especially if you have an ileostomy bag. You really want to, it's not about being regular, it's about just making sure that it's not liquid and acid all the time, because the more food that you have regular throughout the day with an ileostomy bag, the more you'll find that your stool is not as acidy, therefore it won't burn your skin, therefore your bag will not leak. So, beans are a good choice. Also, sometimes when you're not well, a nice vegetable lamb soup. Soup is really, really good, especially just sometimes when you're not feeling well, just sitting down having some nice warm soup, some bread, absolutely lovely. bagels. Bagels are they're quite dense. I mean, they're 45 grams of carbs for one bagel, whereas you can have 2 slices of bread. You can have like 3 slices of toast or one bagel. It's up to you, but some mornings I have a craving for some bagels, so I buy them. Also, another bread sort. You can tell I kind of like my breads. Wraps. Wraps are really, you can put them, you can have them cold, you can make enchiladas, you can make fajitas, you can make your own nachos with them by toasting them. So they're very versatile, and they're only, for one, it's 35 grams of carbohydrates. They're low in fat, they have a bit of protein in, but it's neglectable. Okay, so you've probably seen these in the back and thought, what are these? These are different types of butter. Peanut butter. This is peanut butter and this is cashew butter. Now most people tell you can't have nuts if you have an ileostomy because it will not digest well and you'll get a blockage and therefore you'll be in a lot of pain. That is true if you have actual nuts, like not ground up nut, just nuts. But I find that having smooth peanut butters, for me personally, are absolutely fine. So try it out in a small dose and see how you do if you have an ileostomy bag, and then keep using it in your diet, and if it works, keep having it. So I buy it in bulk from Protein Works because I go through it quite a lot. Okay, still on the carb sources here. So sweet potatoes. I use these all the time. I make mashed sweet potatoes. I can make sweet potato hash. I can make like hash browns. I can make wedges. I can just bake them. They're very versatile. Okay, so that is the carbohydrate sources. Now, the next few things are going to be vegetables, because vegetables for people who have Crohn's and colitis can be a little bit tricky, especially around an ileostomy, because if they're not cooked correctly, if they're not soft, they don't break down very well, and then they don't digest, and you can be quite uncomfortable. Now, people who don't have an ileostomy, I think I'm using all these words like, oh, they just get a dicky tummy. You don't know, so don't think about it. But yeah, the bag can be quite upset with you if you have like a lot of undigested carbohydrate sources and vegetables. So these are the vegetables I have, but obviously I don't have them raw. I'll tell you how that I cook them. So carrots. Now carrots I can have mashed. I think that they're a great replacement for potato. So if you have parsnips and carrots together, I actually do have some parsnips, I should have got them out as well, and make a mash because it's lower in carbs than normal potato, and it tastes a lot better, especially when you've been dieting a long time. So I like to mash these, or I like to cut them up into chips and bake them in the oven. Tomatoes. Some people with ileostomies are thinking they can't eat these. You can. I have them in salads, and I have them. These are one of the things I actually can have raw, and they do not upset my stomach. But that being said, that's me, not you. Try it out, see how you do. Mushrooms. Now sometimes I just see them again in the bag, but they do taste nice. I just make sure that they're really cooked well, they've softened down. I would not eat these raw. I would definitely cook them until they're very, very soft. Same with peppers. I love peppers. Peppers and onions are the base of almost every single dish that I make when it comes to like make my chicken and so on and so forth. So I know that what I do with them is I make sure they're very, very soft. I will not have them if they're still crunchy. Now some people might think, well, that's how I like them, well, that's fine. But for me, I have to have them where they're very soft, they're falling apart. I think it makes them sweeter, I think it makes them taste nicer, and also I don't get any repercussions afterwards. Asparagus. I'm saying the same things over and over again, but I have to just make sure that they're nice and soft. And I really, really like asparagus, but I don't have it all the time. To be honest, this is the first time I've had it for quite a while, probably since the summer. It's more something that I buy in the summer than in the winter. Brussels sprouts. Now, I get my Brussels sprouts and I will boil them, but then I will cut them up and I will fry them with my bacon. So I have sprouts and bacon together. I think it's a really nice side dish, and you know, you can put a bit more, put some olive oil in there as well to make it really, really tasty. They absorb all of that flavour from the bacon, especially with smoked bacon like the bacon that I get. Brilliant thing, very, very low carbs, very low calorie dish. So that is everything that I will be eating in a week. If you learned something, please like the video. Now I am going to prepare a lot of this food and I'm going to cut it up, put it into Tupperware, put it all up in my fridge and then have it for the rest of the week. If you want to see that video, if you want to see my food prep video to show you what I do to make my week easier, because obviously cooking all of this separately every single day takes a lot of time. So if you want to see that, like the video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next video, guys. See you later.